This is 18 Global News. First, the headlines. Fubara redeploys Green as Commissioner for Justice. Court remands ex-AGF Malami in Kuje prison. Tinubu appoints Rotimi Oyedepo as new federal DPP. Nigeria's telecom sector set for expansion in 2026. Yemen declares emergency, demands UAE troop withdrawal. Liverpool confirms departure of individual development coach Briggs. Beyonce becomes billionaire after record-breaking tours albums. Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, has approved the minor cabinet reshuffle in the State Executive Council. Under the new disposition, Barrister Christopher Green, who until now served as Commissioner for Sports, has been redeployed to the Ministry of Justice as the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. This is contained in an official statement signed by Dr. Ono Sirawu, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Communications. According to the statement, Barrister Green will also continue to coordinate the activities of the Ministry of Sports, pending the appointment of a substantive commissioner to oversee the ministry. The redeployment, which takes immediate effect, was approved at the last State Executive Council meeting for the year 2025, underscoring the governor's commitment to strengthening governance, ensuring continuity in service delivery, and optimizing the performance of key ministries within the state. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has urged the family of late Mrs. Karine Umezurike Kalabo, the mother of Right Honorable Manuchim Umezurike, who represents Port Harcourt's constituency in the House of Representatives, to the life of the late Mrs. Kalabo. Governor Fubara stated this when he attended the burial ceremony of late Mrs. Karine Umezurike Kalabo in Oroworoko Town, Port Harcourt, Rivers State on Tuesday. Fubara reaffirmed the support and solidarity of the Rivers State government during their period of mourning. The funeral service was attended by several political leaders, senior government officials, and community stakeholders from across Rivers State. Governor Fubara led the state delegation and paid glowing tributes to the deceased, describing her passing as a painful loss not only to the family but to the wider community. He expressed his heartfelt condolences to Right Honorable Umezurike and other members of the bereaved family, praying for God's comfort, strength, and fortitude to bear the loss. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has warned that the people of Rivers State will not repeat what he described as a leadership mistake in 2027. He made the remark during a thank-you visit to residents of Kana in Bori, Kana local government area, on Tuesday. Although Wike stated the visit was not political, he emphasized that voters would hold leaders accountable for failing to show appreciation, signaling a warning to those previously given leadership opportunities. Wike did not mention Governor Siminalayi Fubara by name, but tensions between the two have been reported, culminating in Fubara's suspension and a presidential state of emergency in September 2025. During his end-of-year media briefing, Wike noted that political support does not automatically guarantee re-election, stressing that leaders must earn their mandate. He reiterated this to Kana residents, urging them to vote based on achievements rather than party affiliation. The minister highlighted the benefits the area has received under President Bola Tinubu, including appointments, the approval of Federal University and Environment, and a presidential pardon for the Ogoni Nine, attributing these to the people's support in 2023. Paramount ruler of Emoha Kingdom in Rivers State, Eze Onha Sergeant Chidi Awuse, has described Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, as a dependable ally and a leader to be followed. Awuse, who is also chairman of the South-South Monarchs Forum, made the remarks during Wike's Christmas visit to Rumuche, Emoha, in Emoha local government area. He emphasized that Emoha local government will continue to support Wike's leadership. The traditional ruler also commended President Bola Tinubu for improving the nation's economy, stabilizing the naira and increasing foreign reserves, noting that Wike has contributed significantly to transforming Abuja. Awuse advised Wike to remain focused despite critics and expressed gratitude for his consistent support to the people of Emoha, including his annual visits to acknowledge local contributions. Ondo State Security Network Agency Amotekuko has arrested 39 suspects who allegedly fled Sokoto State and relocated to forest reserves in Ondo. State Commander Mr. Adetunji Adeleye disclosed this on Tuesday in Akure while parading the suspects, alongside 22 others arrested for various criminal offenses across the state. The 39 suspects were apprehended at the Elegbeka axis in Ose local government area, a notorious security flashpoint, after allegedly fleeing northern Nigeria following a United States-backed military strike against ISIS terrorists. Adeleye said the suspects were found hibernating inside the forest, with vehicles parked far from their hideouts. He noted that Elegbeka has long been a hotspot for criminal activities, prompting Amotekun to establish a permanent control post in the forest to curb kidnapping and armed robbery. Adeleye stressed that anyone entering forest areas must obtain government permits. The arrests are part of Amotekun's Ember Moon security operations, which deployed officers across 4 major operations in the state. Overall, about 100 suspects were arrested during the patrols, with 61 paraded on Tuesday. A breakdown of the offenses showed 50 suspects for breach of law and order, 2 for anti-open grazing violations, 6 for kidnapping-related offenses, and 3 for rape and gender-based violence. Adeleye added that suspects found with incriminating materials will face prosecution. Lagos State Police Command has arrested 14 suspected traffic robbers along the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway within the last 2 weeks, following growing complaints by motorists over the theft of vehicle parts in traffic. The arrests were carried out by operatives of the Tactical Squad, Elemoro, at different locations along the busy corridor, according to the command's spokesperson, CSP Abimbola Adebisi, in a post on X on Tuesday. Adebisi said the operation was a clear demonstration of the command's commitment to improving security and protecting road users along the corridor, while urging residents to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities to the police. The development comes amid heightened public concern over traffic-related robberies in the Lekki axis, particularly the theft of car parts while vehicles are stuck in congestion. Earlier, tech influencer Fisayo Fosudo raised the alarm on X over repeated attacks on his vehicle, noting that parts of his car had been stolen multiple times in Lagos traffic. Residents and road users have long complained about criminals exploiting traffic gridlock along the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway to snatch valuables and vehicles parts, often operating under the guise of street trading or begging. The police said investigations into the arrested suspects are ongoing, assuring motorists of increased patrols and tactical operations to curb the menace and restore confidence along the route. Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to inclusive development, institutional reform, and people-centered governance, emphasizing investments in modern infrastructure and worker welfare. Oyebanji, represented by his deputy, Mrs. Monisha De Afuye, spoke on Tuesday in Ado-Ekiti while inaugurating the new office complex of the Ministry of Local Government Affairs at the State Secretariat. Since its creation in 2005, the ministry had operated from an outdated building in the old governor's office. The governor described the new complex as a transformation, providing modern offices, improved ICT systems, conference and meeting rooms, better records management, and safer, healthier working conditions. Oyembaji also highlighted his government's ongoing efforts to enhance staff welfare and professional development. The Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Mr. Folurunsho Olabode, described the new complex as a testament to the administration's strides in civil service efficiency. The facility features 34 well-furnished offices for at least 120 personnel, 14 additional rear offices, a 200-capacity air-conditioned mini-conference hall, a borehole, a 4,000-liter water storage tank, and secure fence with a large car park. Executive members of the new Nigeria People's Party in Gagari Ward, Dawa Kintofo local government area of Kano State, have removed and expelled the state party chairman, Hashimu Dongurawa, barely 2 weeks after his re-election. A resolution signed by 27 ward executives stated that the decision was taken during the ward's second executive meeting, led by ward chairman Shuaibu Hassan and secretary Yahaya Saidu Dongurawa. The resolution cited allegations that Dongurawa has caused divisions within the party, fueled internal crisis, failed to pay party dues, and made abusive comments against the Kano state governor. The executive described his actions as harmful to the image, unity, and progress of the NNPP. The ward leadership said the removal followed the party's constitution and was aimed at maintaining discipline, unity, and internal harmony. Copies of the resolution were reportedly sent to the party's local government, state, and national offices for further action. The ward executives emphasized that the decision had been communicated to the NNPP, national leader, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, and the Kano State Governor Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf. They said the move was intended to serve as a warning to members who abuse their positions and disregard party rules. The executives reaffirmed their loyalty to the NNPP, national leadership under Kwankwaso, and pledged continued support for Governor Yusuf, while stressing their commitment to peace, unity, and the growth of the party. Kano State Police Command has arrested 3,081 suspects in 2025 for crimes including armed robbery, kidnapping, drug trafficking, and thuggery across the states. Commissioner of Police Ibrahim Bakori disclosed this during an end-of-year press briefing at the command's headquarters on Tuesday, highlighting achievements in crime prevention and peace building since assuming office on March 17, 2025. The command recovered several firearms, including AK-47 rifles, pistols, and locally made guns, alongside ammunition, illicit drugs, stolen vehicles, motorcycles, tricycles, and mobile phones. Among those arrested were 146 armed robbery suspects, 50 kidnapping suspects, 112 suspected drug dealers, and over 2,300 suspected thugs. 14 kidnapped victims were also rescued during various operations. Bakori said the command's strategies included intelligence-led policing, community engagement, capacity building for officers, and joint border patrols with sister security agencies. He noted that the launch of Operation Kukankura had significantly contributed to the decline in crime, improving peace and security across the state. He urged residents to partner with the police by reporting suspicious activities and providing timely information, reaffirming the command's commitment to maintaining peace and security in Kano State. Kano State Police Command has assured residents that security is under control following a loud explosion at the General Hospital in Bagudu in the early hours of Tuesday. According to the Police Public Relations Officer, SP Bashir Usman, a joint security team comprising personnel from the Nigeria Police Force, the military, and local vigilante groups promptly secured the area. Explosive ordnance disposal and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear specialists were also deployed to assess the scene. The command confirms that no casualties were recorded, although a building with the hospital's staff quarters sustained damage. Occupants have evacuated before the explosion occurred. The Commissioner of Police has ordered additional tactical deployments to maintain public safety. A comprehensive investigation was launched. Police later clarified that the explosion was accidental. It was caused by an inferno that overheated air conditioning and refrigerator gas cylinders, not explosives or aerial activity. EODCBRN assessments confirmed no criminal involvement. Residents were advised to remain calm, avoid the immediate vicinity, and rely only on official information as authorities continue their operations. Katsina State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has arrested 8 suspects in connection with an attack on its outpost of Koraman Nayali, Katsina Metropolis. The command's public relations officer, SP Buhari Hamisu, confirmed the arrest on Monday. Hamisu said the incident occurred on Sunday when a group of miscreants protested a recent raid that led to the death of a suspected drug peddler identified as Uzairo, also known as Dankuda. According to him, the attackers stormed the NSCDC outpost located at Kureman Nayali in Sabuwa Unguwa quarters and set the building ablaze. He added that assailants armed with dangerous weapons also attempted to attack nearby NSCDC and outpost at Filin, Canada. Hamisu said operatives of the NSCDC Special Response Squad, in collaboration with the police, were able to contain the situation and restore normalcy. The PRO disclosed that the state commandant of NSCDC, Abbas Moriki, has ordered a thorough investigation into the incident. He said the commandant conducted an on-the-spot assessment of the damaged outpost and constituted a 7-member committee to investigate the circumstances surrounding the attack. Hamisu added that investigations are ongoing to identify and arrest other suspects involved in the incident. Adamawa State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists has expressed condolences to the national president of the NUJ, Al-Hassan Yahaya, over the death of 6 journalists in Gombe. The journalists reportedly died in a tragic auto crash while returning from a wedding ceremony in Kantungo town at about 5:30 p.m. on Monday. 2 of the deceased were confirmed to be staff of the Nigeria Television Authority. The NUJ Council conveyed its commiseration in a part message jointly signed by its chairman, Abdullahi Ibrahim, and Secretary Kisinga Buka on Tuesday in Yola. The council also extended condolences to the management of NTA Gombe, the Ministry of Information, the government, and the people of Gombe State. The council described the loss of the journalist as a painful blow, not only to the profession but to the nation at large. It noted that their commitment, service, and contributions to the growth of the media industry will be greatly missed, and affirmed its solidarity with the families of the deceased, their colleagues, and the entire Gombe State community. The NUJ Council prayed for eternal rest and for the departed souls and strength for their families and loved ones to bear their irreparable loss. Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Unit Zone D, Bauchi, has intercepted 718 pieces of donkey skins worth over 24 million naira, allegedly being smuggled out of the country. The Zonal Controller, Abdullahi Kaila, disclosed this on Tuesday during a media briefing on the unit's anti-smuggling activities at the command's headquarters in Bauchi. Kaila stated the cumulative duty paid value of the seized items stands at 24,313,217 naira. He noted that the arrest aligned with the directive of the Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale, to enforce a zero-tolerance stance against the illegal trade of endangered species. He explained that the trade and exportation of donkey skins remain prohibited under Nigerian law and international conventions, including the CITES Agreement, which restricts the commercial trade of endangered wildlife. According to him, 2 suspects, including the driver and owner of the goods, were arrested and will be prosecuted in line with the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023, as well as other environmental protection laws. The controller described the seizure as a reaffirmation of the service's commitment to safeguarding biodiversity and economic interest, warning that smuggling of wildlife products constitutes economic sabotage. Kyla added that the success of the operation was made possible through enhanced collaboration with other security agencies, which has improved intelligence sharing and disrupted smuggling networks within the zone. He urged residents to support the service by providing credible information that could help disrupt smuggling activities in the region. Commissioner of Police in Nasarawa State, Shetima Mohammed, has imposed a total ban on the burning of used tires during crossover night activities, making the New Year celebrations across the state. The directive was contained in a statement issued on Tuesday in Lafayette by the Police Public Relations Officer in the state, SB Rahman Nansel. According to the statement, Mohammed ordered all area commanders and divisional police officers to ensure strict enforcement of the ban. He warned that anyone found engaging in the act would be arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the law. The police commissioner said the ban was necessary to protect critical government and private infrastructure from damage and defacement, prevent environmental pollution, and ensure the free flow of traffic as well as public safety during the festivities. He also urged vulcanizers across the state to ensure that all used tires were properly disposed of or taken away at the close of business each day to prevent unauthorized access by members of the public. Mohammed further advised parents and guardians to caution their wards against burning tires or engaging in other unlawful activities during the New Year celebrations. He reaffirmed the commitment of the Nasarawa State Police Command and ensuring a peaceful, safe and hitch-free New Year celebration for residents of the state. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Rotimi Oyedepo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as the Director of Public Prosecutions in the Federal Ministry of Justice. A letter dated December 23rd and signed by Omola Bake Mafe on behalf of the Chairman of the Federal Civil Service Commission confirmed that Oyedepo's transfer from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to the mainstream Federal Civil Service was made in the public interest. According to a statement issued on Tuesday by the Director of Information and Public Relations at the State House, Abiodun Oladunjoye Oyedepo will succeed Abubakar Babadoko, who is due to retire on December 31, 2025, after completing the mandatory 8 years as a director. A 2007 law graduate from the University of Ilorin and law school attendee in 2008, Oyedepo brings over 15 years of EFCC experience prosecuting complex economic and financial crimes. He previously served as head of the monitoring unit and was part of the legal team in the landmark P and ID case. Oyedepo's role as DPP is expected to reduce reliance on external counsel for critical prosecutions and enhance coherence and consistency in the federal government's legal strategies. His accolades include EFCC Outstanding Staff of the Year 2014 and Best Financial Crimes Prosecutor 2019. Federal government has dismissed claims of a secret multi-agency operation to unlawfully arrest, detain or prosecute opposition figures, describing circulating documents on the alleged ADP4 VIP arrest, detain, prosecute for very important persons program is fabricated. The viral documents falsely suggested that agencies including the EFCC, ICPC, and NFRU, coordinated by the National Security Advisor's Office, were targeting high-profile opposition politicians, particularly within the African Democratic Congress, ahead of the 2027 elections. In a press release on Tuesday, Minister of Information Mohammed Idris reiterated that the government has no such plans and emphasized that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains focused on economic reforms, security trade expansion, and restoring investor confidence. The government stressed that attempts to label lawful accountability as political targeting are misleading and warned Nigerians against disinformation, noting that fake narratives are likely to increase as the 2027 elections approach. Reaffirming its commitment to democratic principles, the government cited Section 40 of the Constitution, guaranteeing the right to freely associate and assemble, while underscoring the rule of law, due process, and institutional independence. Nigerians were urged to reject distortion and remain vigilant as the political landscape ahead of the 2027 elections intensifies. Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the remand of former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, along with his wife Asabe Bashir and son Abdulaziz Malami at the Kuje Correctional Center, pending the hearing of their bail applications. Judge Emeka Wite fixed 2nd January 2026 for the hearing, meaning the trial will spend New Year's Day in detention. The remand order followed the arraignment of the three by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on 16-count money laundering charges. The EFCC alleged that the defendants conspired to legitimately acquire and conceal multi-billion naira assets, including a university, hotel, mall, and residential properties in Abuja, Kano, and Kebbi. Investigations reportedly traced assets worth about 200 billion naira to Malami across the three locations. Malami, his son, and his wife, and an employee of Rahamaniya Properties Limited, a firm linked to the former minister, all pleaded not guilty to the charges. During proceedings, the defense sought to present bail applications orally, but the EFCC opposed the move, requesting time to file a written response. Judge Winter denied the oral argument request, stating that allowing it would amount to an ambush, and adjourned the hearing to 2nd January 2026 to give the prosecution adequate time to respond. Malami has been in EFCC custody since 8 December and had previously attempted to secure pre-trial bail on 23 December. The Federal Capital Territory High Court granted bail, but both Malami and the EFCC disagreed over whether the bail conditions had been fulfilled. The EFCC alleged that defendants carried out suspicious transactions and attempted to conceal the origins of the alleged illicit assets through bank accounts and property acquisitions. The offenses reportedly spanned 2015 to 2025. Covering Malami's 8-year tenure as AGF. The charges are said to violate the Money Laundering Prohibition and Prevention Act of 2011 as amended and 2022. Former Assistant Director of the Department of State Services, Dennis Amakri, has described the recent United States airstrikes against terrorists in Nigeria's northwest as a calculated and deliberate warning, not a random military action. Speaking on Tuesday, Amakri said the operation sent a clear message to terrorists and their supporters, warning that sustained military action will follow. The ex-DSS boss explained that the strikes involved highly sophisticated MQ-9 Reaper Predator drones and precision-guided missiles. He stressed that such operations are far too expensive to be symbolic or accidental. His comments come after the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Toga, confirmed that Nigeria officially requested and supported the U.S. strikes, which reportedly killed several terrorists in Sokoto State. The United States had earlier confirmed the strikes carried out on Thursday in the northwest. Former Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has officially declared his intention to contest the Kogi Central Senatorial seat in the 2027 general elections, setting up a challenge against the current senator, Natasha Akpoti-Oduagan. Bello made the announcement during a courtesy visit to the palace of the Ohionio of Ebire land, where he met with traditional rulers, religious leaders, and other stakeholders from the senatorial district. He formally accepted calls for him to run and expressed his readiness to represent the district in the National Assembly. The event was attended by Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo, alongside several political leaders and community figures. Bello previously served as governor of Kogi State from 2016 to 2024, while the Kogi Central Senatorial District is currently represented by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduagan, who won the seat in the 2023 elections. We'll go on a short break now, and when we return, we will continue with the rest of the stories. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. And now to the rest of our stories. Association of Telecommunication Companies of Nigeria has projected a shift from consolidation in 2025 to expansion in 2026. ATCON President Tony Emo Perez said the industry is entering a year of renewed confidence driven by operators, regulators and government initiatives to deepen digital inclusion. Despite challenges in 2025, including rising energy costs, foreign exchange volatility and right-of-way issues, telecom companies focus on network decentralization and transitioning to solar and hybrid energy systems. Broadband penetration in Nigeria exceeded 50% last year, fueled by high data consumption in digital payments, streaming and cloud services. Amoekwere credited the Nigerian Communications Commissioner for maintaining investor confidence through transparent reporting, policy enforcement and efficient spectrum management. He highlighted government initiatives including a 90,000-kilometer open access national fiber backbone project, 774 rural connectivity, and the 3 million technical talent program to boost digital skills in AI, cybersecurity, and software development. Looking ahead, ADCON plans to intensify investment in data centers and last-mile broadband, protect critical telecom infrastructure, harmonize rural policies, and reduce multiple taxation. The association will advocate for open access networks, fair wholesale pricing, and support for indigenous operators with regulatory stability. 2026 is expected to mark accelerated growth for Nigeria's digital economy. National Insurance Commission has confirmed that the ongoing insurance industry recapitalization deadline will not be extended, insisting that the timetable is fixed in law. The Deputy Commissioner for Insurance Technical, Dr. Usman Jankara, emphasized that any change would require a new legislative process and presidential assent. The current deadline, as stipulated in the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025, remains July 30th, 2026. Jankara stated that the deadline is achievable for serious operators and expressed confidence that it will result in a stronger, well-managed industry capable of meeting its obligations. He noted that NICOM aims to ensure companies emerging from the exercise are financially robust and globally competitive. The Deputy Commissioner also highlighted NICOM's ongoing reforms, which includes risk-based supervision, faster claim settlements, micro-insurance, tackle Intertech initiatives, and MSME-focused products. He said the measures, along with collaborations with the Nigeria Police Force for compulsory motor insurance, are gradually improving public trust in the insurance sector. He described the recapitalization as a structural reset under NIRA 2025, which introduces a risk-based capital framework, strengthens consumer protection, sets clearer claims timelines, and establishes an insurance policyholders protection fund. Jankara added that NICOM will continue driving innovation, deepening insurance penetration, and supporting the federal government's goal of a $1 trillion economy. Dangote Group has announced a 10-day credit facility backed by a bank guarantee for petrol station owners and dealers alongside free direct delivery and other incentives as part of a new supply arrangement. The company disclosed this in a statement posted on its official X handle on Tuesday, inviting petrol station operators across the country to register to benefit from the offer. According to the statements, participating dealers will enjoy a 10-day credit facility backed by a bank guarantee with a minimum order requirement of 5,000 liters. The Dangote Group further called on operators to register their stations to access the supply arrangement. The company also disclosed that petrol supplied under the arrangement will be sold at gantry price of $699 per liter. The announcement follows a recent petrol price adjustment by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. ATN earlier reported that the refinery reduced its ex-depot petrol price from 828 to 699 naira per liter, representing a 129 quotes. The new price reportedly took effect on December 11, 2025, marking the 20th petrol price adjustment announced by the refinery this year. And next to our international tidbits. Guinea's junta leader Mamadi Doumbouya is leading in presidential elections held over the weekend, according to initial results. Doumbouya, who seized power in the 2021 coup, had pledged not to run but reversed his position after opposition leaders were barred and called for boycotts. Partial results showed him winning over 80% of votes in several districts, including Conakry, Koya, Bofa, Fria, Gawal, Kondara, Labe, and Nzurukere. Turnout was officially 85%, though critics disputed the figure. Opposition candidates alleged irregularities, citing restricted access to vote counting centers and ballot stuffing. The election follows a September referendum that allowed junta members to run and extended presidential terms from 5 to 7 years. Several opposition figures were barred due to residency exile or age restrictions. Doumbouya's candidacy has drawn criticism from pro-democracy groups concerned about Guinea's transition back to civilian rule. United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement has announced that Nigerian national Ibrahim Ijaoboa is currently in its custody awaiting deportation following a final removal order. ICE disclosed this in a post shared on its X, formerly Twitter handle on Monday, describing Ijaoba as a criminal illegal alien with a history of violent offenses in the United States. According to the agency, Ijaoba, a former member of the Blood Street Gang, entered the U.S. illegally and later accumulated multiple criminal convictions. His criminal record reportedly includes convictions for aggravated assault on a police officer with a firearm, assault and aggravated assault, armed robbery, obstruction, drug sales, and escaping police custody. ICE said the offenses formed the basis for his removal from the United States and confirmed that he remains in custody pending deportation. The Bloods is a notorious street gang in the U.S. widely associated with violent crime, drug trafficking, and armed robbery. Yemen's Presidential Leadership Council had Rashad al-Alimi on Tuesday declared a 90-day state of emergency as tensions escalated in the south of the country. He also ordered the withdrawal of United Arab Emirates troops with 24 hours and cancelled the joint defense agreements between Yemen and the UAE. In a televised address, al-Amini announced a 72-hour shutdown of all ports and border crossings across Yemen. The council, backed by Saudi Arabia, controls government-held areas of the country, which has been divided by years of civil war with Houthi rebels. Tensions have risen between the Saudi-backed government coalition and the UAE-backed Southern Transitional Council, a separatist group seeking control over southern Yemen and pushing for secession. On Tuesday, the coalition conducted a limited airstrike on 2 vessels in Mokala, alleging they were delivering weapons to the STC. The Saudi Foreign Ministry has urged the UAE to withdraw military forces and halt all support to local actors involved in the conflict. France has postponed its ban on single-use plastic cups to 2030, citing difficulties finding alternatives. The ban, initially set to start January 1, will now take effect on January 1, 2030, with a review scheduled in 2028 to assess progress. Companies will have 12 months to clear existing stock once the ban begins. The French government has gradually phased out single-use plastics over the past decade, including bans on plastic bags and other items, as environmental concerns rise. However, environmental groups argue that the phase-out has been too slow and accuse the government of bowing to lobby pressure. Reports indicate widespread non-compliance, with nearly a fifth of inspected companies breaching regulations by marketing products labeled plastic-free that contain plastic or renaming items to circumvent the rules. Campaigners say the solutions exist but lack investment and regulatory enforcement. And now to our sports news. Liverpool Football Club has announced that Aaron Briggs, who joined the club in July 2024 as an individual development coach, will be leaving his role. Briggs was a key member of manager Arne Slot's backroom staff and played an important role in the club's Premier League title success last season. His contributions to player development and behind-the-scenes support were widely appreciated by both staff and players. The club expressed gratitude for his efforts and wished him success in his future endeavors, noting that he leaves with the appreciation and best wishes of everyone at the Liverpool. 6 teams have been eliminated from the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco as the group stage reaches its decisive phase. As of the end of the year, March 3, on Monday, Botswana have become the first side to crash out after losing their opening 2 matches of the tournament. They were followed by Equatorial Guinea and Gabon, who also exited after suffering back-to-back defeats in their first 2 group games. Zambia's campaign ended on Monday night following a 3-0 defeat to tournament host Morocco, sealing their elimination from the competition. Comoros became the first third-place team to be knocked out after completing their group fixtures with a points tally, that placed them below 4 of the other 5 third-place sides. Meanwhile, 6 teams have already secured qualification for the round of 16. They are Algeria, Mali, Morocco, Nigeria, South Africa, and Egypt. And now to our entertainment news. Grammy Award-winning singer Beyoncé has officially become a billionaire following the massive commercial success of her music projects, global tours, and business ventures, according to Forbes. The 44-year-old reached the milestone after a highly profitable 2025 driven by her Cowboy Carter album, its world tour and endorsement deals, making her the 5th musician to attain billionaire status alongside Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, and Rihanna. Forbes said Beyoncé's wealth surge followed years of steady growth, highlighted by the Renaissance World Tour in 2023, which grossed nearly $600 million, and the Cowboy Carter Tour in 2025, which generated over $400 million in ticket sales and about $50 million in merchandise revenue. The magazine estimated her 2025 earnings at $148 million before taxes, ranking her as the world's 3rd highest paid musician. Much of her fortune comes from her independent management company, Parkwood Entertainment, which allows her to retain ownership of her music and tours. While Beyoncé has expanded into ventures such as hair care and spirits, Forbes noted that the bulk of her wealth still comes from music, particularly stadium tours and catalog ownership. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. February deploys Green as Commissioner for Justice. Court remands ex-AGF Malami in Kuje prison. Tinubu appoints Rotimi Oyedepo as new federal DPP. Nigeria's telecom sector set for expansion in 2026. Yemen declares emergency demands UAE troop withdrawal. Liverpool confirms departure of individual developments coach Briggs. Beyoncé becomes billionaire after record-breaking tours, albums. I am Francis Necker. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on our social media platforms on X, formerly Twitter, at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube, at Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress.